G'day everyone, Ali here. I've just pulled out some Christmas paper pads here from KaiserCraft that I had from last year, and I didn't use them all, but I thought today I would just make some simple cards basically using not a lot of products. So just basically the paper pads, and I might look at using some Nouveau crystal drops. If you don't have them, you don't have to use them. I've pulled out some washi tape that I've never used, but I thought I might use it. If you've got it, try and use it. And these are like Christmassy colours, you know, like a silver foil, a rose gold foil, and just some glittery foil. So I've pulled those out. I may or may not use them. I'm going to make a card that measures 10.5 by 14.5 approximately, and I've just cut them out of just cream cardstock and just scored them down the middle basically. I've got some black cardstock and some brown cardstock just so I can mount paper on it, because I always like it when you can mount a colour behind, just like that. To me it just finishes it off, but if you don't have that, don't worry about it. It's all about giving a handmade card. It comes from the heart. So I've just pulled these two paper packs out. I think I might just do a couple black and white ones. These here have some sentiments that you can cut out, so I thought I might cut those out as well and use those. So I'm going to get started on this one, so let's get started. As I mentioned earlier, these are going to be easier cards to make. So if you're not a crafter, all you really need is just the paper pad or Christmas paper, some blank cardstock, and just go from there. You don't have to use double-sided tape, you can use glue. With this, however, I do use some distress ink just on the edges, just to get rid of that little bit of white that peeks through from when you cut the card. I also find it easier when you mount your main piece to pick the next paper out of the pad as well. Also distressing the edge of the paper here as well. I have got a distressing tool, but you can use scissors, the blade of the scissors. Just be sure that you don't cut yourself. This also gives a really good effect on the card as well. I'm just going to stamp a sentiment on here that says Merry Christmas, and I'm just using some distress ink in walnut stain, just with some clear embossing powder over the top. on to card number 2, and I'm just going to do basically the same with this card here. So I've come across this piece of 12 by 12 paper here, and it's got Merry Christmas on it, and I want to utilize the sentiment onto my card. Now this here is a quilting ruler that I picked up a couple of weeks ago because I thought this would really come in handy for when I'm doing card making. So what I started doing was I cut out a bigger piece than what it should have done, and then I would go back and cut it down to the size that I wanted. So just because it's a quilting ruler doesn't mean that you can't use it for other crafting techniques. This here, I made a ruler out of hard plastic, and I sometimes use that as well. So this helps me when I'm actually centering things like this onto cardstock. So you see that I'm just cutting it down gradually just to get the desired size. And I don't measure, I just eyeball most things because once again, it's a handmade card. So if you have paper pads that have sentiments already stamped in them, try and utilize them. So it's a great way of bringing a card together.
I decided to use some Nouveau crystal drops on my card. So I've got ebony black here and dark walnut. So before I put them on, I just get a pencil and just put a little dot where I want my drops to go, because I am not a great estimator when I put these drops down, and they tend to be a little bit out of alignment. So that's just a little tip that I use as well. So this is just to finish off my cards, and then that's 4 cards done. So all up, this took me about roughly an hour to get all the 4 cards done, cutting and so forth. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please give me your thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing to my channel, and don't forget to hit that notification bell for up and coming videos. And until next time, happy crafting. See ya!